Yeah, I had to disconnect it for a second. Oh, by the way, kitchen. When you decided that you wanted to be with Mister, did you know all the puns? Um, did you know all that like your life was gonna be what it is, like just nonstop puns, or did you learn after and it was like, oh shit, too late? I need to know. Also, if the hearing some like you heard that you missed some shit, if that was referring to the fact that I might have left Jerry's actual shit in my car, he's rubbing off on you. He's getting to you. Oh, you learned how to get back at him. But I don't sleep with him. So, like, that doesn't work with me. So our chicken's just kind of sitting out. I just took it out of the fridge. It needs to, rest at room temperature for about 10 minutes before we throw it in the oven. Or before we at least throw it on the stove. Honestly, I don't even think I'm going to show cooking the chicken because it's literally just going to go on the stove and then go in the oven. Like, I'm not doing anything special. Normally, if I was cooking a whole chicken breast, I would, there'd be like fresh herbs and butter and I'd be basting it and all this kind of stuff. And I'm not even going to do that this time because we're not seasoning it yet. We're going to season it later. What else do I have to do? I guess I can mince some shallots. I gotta do that. I'm trying to get this dough out of my hair. Okay. You just like, there's more charm than sarcasm. Okay, as long as there's more. As long as there's more charm than sarcasm. So we got... Yeah, it's pretty gross. We got some shallots. We're gonna finely mince these shallots. Not by much. At least, if nothing else, he's honest. I'm really hoping that my car doesn't reek of dog shit. That would be devastating. That would be pretty much the worst. I mean, my car's right in front. Lauren just went to go check to see if it was afflicted. But Obviously, I can't step away, so Lauren had to go check. The problem is if she goes and checks, Jerry's going to want to get in the car. And she doesn't want to take him on a drive if my car smells like shit. So... Coastal, thanks for hopping in. I appreciate it. Enjoy Trader Joe's and have a great rest of your night. You're in our Discord, so I'll post a picture tomorrow of how they look, and you'll get to see it. This way, you don't have to go through the whole video. One shot. Oh, anytime. I always post pictures of stuff I make, except for those pancakes. They didn't come out very good. I'm just gonna buy ring molds and try it again. I think that's really my only option. I'm not skilled enough to do it without a ring mold. And then maybe as I make them a few times successfully and I get better at it, then I can try to not use the ring mold and you know, exact my revenge. But until then it sits as a failure in my mind. I'm just really trying to mince the shallots. I'll kind of give them a cursory pass with the knife real fast after, but man. So Lauren and I, we went on our first outdoor dining experience in the past like 7 months, and we did that on Friday with a few friends. It was only it was a small group of us. It was only 6 people, so we felt all right doing it. But it felt so good to get back outside and see friends and hang out and just sit at a restaurant and eat and not have to worry about cleaning up or cooking or anything. It was pretty amazing. I didn't realize how much I missed that. Like, I thought I would be like, oh yeah, this is fine. You go to restaurants and you have so many bad experiences with wait staff or with the food, or it's just really crowded or whatever. You're like, this isn't really worth it. Like, whatever. And then when it's taken away from you for as long as it has been, when you finally get to go back, you're like, shit, this is nice. Um, we went to it was a Mexican restaurant that a friend of mine is the manager of, and so we went, and I got frozen sangria and all this stuff. It was just super nice. So I was very happy about it. Um, but I don't want to make it a recurring thing. You know, that was like a one-time deal, so to speak. So I don't know the next time that we'll go and do that. How was my car? Not as bad as you thought, but that means there is something. Jerry got mobbed by some schoolgirls. So I just turned on the heat. Kitchen, you don't have to apologize. I totally get it. You guys know how busy I am. Sometimes I don't even get to see. I don't even get to join, your streams and stuff. It happens. I don't hold it against anyone. But I appreciate you, coming out and at least saying something. Alright. We got our pans heating up on the stove. Like I said, I'm not even going to show the chicken being cooked because there's nothing to show. It's pretty standard, pretty boring stuff. We'll throw the chicken on there once it gets nice and hot. After it cooks all the... Oh, shit. I should preheat this oven. We're going to preheat the oven to 425. After the chicken comes off the stove, we're going to throw it immediately into the oven for about 10 minutes, where after it's done cooking, we're going to let it rest for an additional 10 minutes. By the time all that is done, the dough should have been proofed. And once the chicken is resting, I can start to roll the dough out. I can cut it and then roll it out. So, once the dough is rolled out, I'm going to turn on... Well, actually, I won't do that. I'll probably cut up some parchment paper. We'll stuff the dough. We'll seal it. Place it in the bamboo steamer. And we'll be good to go. So I'm excited to see how these turn out. This is a first time for me. Never made these. We'll see. We shall see. Lauren, you excited for some bao? Yeah. Jerry, are you excited for bao?
For bao movement? Sorry, Mr. Mace, that was your joke. And I didn't use it well.
Did he actually say that? Did I miss it?
When Kitchen was doing it. She moves the bao bun to the side. He's like, nice bao movement. And I was I'm going to use that. And I did, and I did it poorly. I had to move my car back because I was afraid. There's little girls driving around those like power wheels, like battery operated cars. And they always swerve out of the way of hitting my car at the last second. I'm just going to move my car back. They don't smash into it. My neighbor's like, yeah, one of the kids was just leaning against your car, like, ugh. I don't care about that, but don't smash into it.
Mr. said he's glad you remembered.
Oh, I've been like waiting to use that. I never forget a good
She never
joke.
forgets a dad joke. She's like an elephant.
Yeah, real fart smeller. I mean, smart fella.
I told her that last year when she started working at the camp, to go to one of the kids and tell them that they're a fart smeller. I mean, smart fella. And she fucking lost it. She thought it was the funniest thing, which I don't know why. It's not that good. It's something my dad told me.
And his dad before that, and his dad before that.
It's a long tradition in the Volpe household. let's get this chicken in here so we can fucking make some bao. Now, it's so funny though. It's not, but I know you can't see it. But just a couple of things to remember when we're cooking chicken or anything. Whenever you lay something in the oil, deep fry or shallow fry, or even just a pan full of oil, always lay away from you. And we're cooking these skin side down. Now the chicken breast has no bones in it, but the chicken thigh does. We're gonna cook it with the bone in. However, we're obviously going to cut it off the bone later. And we're just going to cook these about 3 or 4 minutes, skin side down until it gets nice and golden brown. We're going to flip them, cook them another couple of minutes, and then rotate so that we cook the sides. I've shown this before on other streams where we, the proper way to cook chicken, where you skin side down, flip it, cook it underside, then cook it on its one side, and flip and cook on the other side. You cook the top, you cook the bottom. That's just the way it's done. I gotta think of something to kind of cut through all the spice. So like the cinnamon, the allspice, the anise, those are all spicy. And when I say spicy, I mean they're not fatty, they're not acidic. So they fall into that kind of spice category. And I need, earthy spice, something like that. I need something. Hey, Hookem, what's up? I need something to kind of cut through that spice. I want something a little, balanced. Maybe a little acid or maybe a little fat to kind of cut through it. So what I think I'm going to do is when I'm making the filling later, I'm going to add some butter. I'm not going to do it now. I'm going to do it later once the spice is there to help kind of neutralize it a little and just give it a little unctuous flavor and just kind of, like I said, handle some of that spice. You made lasagna. Oh, now, quick question. When you make your lasagna, which I fucking love lasagna, do you make a bechamel sauce or do you use ricotta? Because in my family, there's only one correct way to do it, and that's ricotta. But I respect the bechamel. Lauren asked, you make a red meat sauce. Yes, but your cheese, is it no vegetable? Yeah, okay. So you use ricotta, or some people call it ricotta. But Lauren had asked what a bechamel was. She kind of yelled it from the other room. And bechamel is basically just a milk and butter sauce with a little bit of flour. And that's really all it is. It was actually the same, bechamel is one of the 4, oh, you asked how to spell it. Sorry, I thought you asked what it is. Bechamel is one of the 4 mother sauces of French cuisine. So it's important to know how to cook it, but it doesn't belong in everything. Well, now I answered what it was for you. It's a milk and butter based sauce. You add a little bit of flour to help thicken it up, but it becomes almost pasty. And then you add that, it's butter and, it's milk and flour. You add some butter and it becomes very creamy. It was the same base that I used for the for the mac and cheese that you never ate. Ooh, spiced with some nutmeg or cinnamon. That sounds good. That sounds real good. Ricotta is the superior choice, though, for lasagna, at least to me. Not for cheesecake. Cheesecake is cream cheese all the way. And I like Italian cheesecake, but New York style is better. I'm sorry, I said it. There, I said it. I drew the battle lines. Pick a side. Yeah, I know where Lauren stands on that. Why you gotta blow up my spot like that? Yes, I was eating a little ice cream. Alright? I bought non-dairy ice cream so Lauren and I could enjoy it together. Because she, you know, her little tummy can't handle all that spicy milk. It was Ben & Jerry's chocolate fudge brownie. Yes, pretty good. Although, not enough brownie. Personally, what I think is the ultimate brownie sundae is a very gooey, almost raw brownie, like a lava cake, almost raw, and you serve that nice and hot with some vanilla ice cream, some fudge, and you are in business. It does not need much more than that. If you want to get crazy, you can add some of the chocolate crunchies and maybe something with a little citrus, maybe some raspberries or something, just for some contrast and brightness, just to break up all the fat and decadence of the sundae that I just created. That's how I would do it. And I fucking know, I love desserts. I don't think there's ever been a better time to show why. You guys are all cooks. I don't need to show you. I was gonna show like why cooking chicken breast is so difficult, and even though I had it browned on the top and the bottom, there's a side view where you can see the tenderloin and how raw it still is. It was a great classic view. Listen, I'm not a chef either. I don't know. You think I know what the fuck I'm doing? I don't have any clue. You guys remember the fart pancakes I made on Saturday? There's a reason why they tasted like fart, because I don't know what I'm doing. So, you know, I think it's fun that way. I think it's fun to not know what I'm doing. What doesn't look like it? They did taste like farts. I can't lie. What? I hate you. Lauren said something stupid, and just for that, she's gonna clean the stove. Alright, fine. I'll just clean the stove. You wash the dishes. You need to be punished for your insolence. I really want lasagna now. If I wasn't moving this weekend, that's what I would be making. It would 100% be lasagna. What? I can't hear a word you're saying.
It's hot.
Yeah, I know it's hot. Yes, it is hot. I agree. I'm right here. We are moving. Yes, we're moving on. We already started bringing some boxes over because the apartment's empty, and we have to move everything out on Saturday. So Saturday's stream will be canceled because it's the only day I can get a friend of mine to help me move some of our heavier furniture. So we got to move everything on Saturday.
What?
Because of this. It's just this grease on it.
What's up, Bishop Hair?
So we move, and then I'm excited though because what's it? Well, the new place is smaller, right? So the kitchen, I have to spend some time figuring out how are we going to arrange our kitchen, specifically for streaming. That'll be a challenge. The second thing that I'm excited for is that we will have, when we first moved in here into the current apartment, we didn't stream, we didn't do a podcast, and so we didn't decorate anything, or we didn't design lay the rooms out for streaming and stuff, and we just kind of do patchwork here and there. Let's put this here, and let's just grab this and set them up, kind of half-assed. But now, since we're moving, and we are doing these things, we can set up all of the rooms that we need to be exactly how we want them. So I'm very much looking forward to our new recording studio for the podcast and also for our YouTube videos. It's going to be great. And but it is a trade-off for the kitchen. The kitchen's a little smaller, but I'm sure we'll make it work. But yeah, it's helpful that it's empty. That makes it very, very helpful. I just had a small child screaming. Yes, I agree. You would think it'd be really difficult to do, but we managed to do it. You know what it is? Our kitchen, it's probably similar size to what we have. It's just my kitchen feels bigger. Oh, no problem, Jay. Have a good night. Hopefully that baby stops, you know, using you like a human soccer ball sometime soon. But, you know, I hope you get some rest. Our kitchen feels bigger because it's kind of long. Like it goes out and you know, we have a decent amount of counter space. Even though the kitchen is kind of small, there's like a good amount of counter space here. There's more counter space out here where I'm housing. I have some counter space to my right, which is your left. So even though it's a small kitchen, I have a decent amount of counters. So that makes it feel bigger than it is. We'll be losing a little bit of that. Like I said, you know, Lauren and I kind of brainstormed some ideas to make it work, and you know, it might be a stream or two where it's like a little busy for me to try to figure out where am I going to put stuff and whatever, and you know, but after a couple, you know, we'll get into a new rhythm and we'll figure out what we need. It'll be fine. Have a good night, Jay. Okay, let's get some water. I really want to make some barbecue chicken with some like baked beans and cornbread. I love cornbread, but Lauren doesn't like it, so I don't make it because it would just be me eating a whole loaf of cornbread. Cornbread is great. I love cornbread. Yeah, she doesn't like cornbread. I know. It's like, it's so weird. Okay, so I need my 5-spice salt. I have my mirin. I need soy sauce. Soy sauce, sesame oil, hoisin, and brown sugar. Cornbread is the fucking best, especially the cornbread from Jose Tejas, a local Tex-Mex restaurant. They have the best cornbread I've ever had. It is crazy how good it is. Honestly, the food is pretty good. Like it's.
Can I even see you in here? It is so smoky.
Do you think of smoke alarm out?
Yeah, it's about to go off. Why is it still doing this?
I don't know.
It's
It's probably just because there's grease all over the stove. I'm sorry. I opened this window. But this restaurant is, like, the food's pretty good, but the cornbread's top tier. Cornbread's real good. No, it's coming from the actual stove. Oven, I mean. It's kind of smoky in our kitchen.
Something fall on in the oven? Like is there cheese or something burned?
You don't do that.
I know you don't mean to do
No,
that.
I mean like I don't put cheese in the oven like that.
It doesn't have to be cheese, man.
I understand. Yeah, we're gonna have to clean it, steam clean it at some point. Is now really the time to do this? It's a little smoky. This kitchen, the biggest issue that I have with it is its extremely poor ventilation. There's a vent over the microwave, but it's a very small, thin mesh plate, and you have to turn on a loud fan for it to start pulling up anything. But unfortunately, most of it doesn't get taken up. Most of it is just, floats around and sucks. So it often gets very smoky in the kitchen. And there's really not much I can do about it. I have a window, and we keep the window open, but it still isn't enough. And we actually even open up a second window in the living room. So we have two windows to try to get some air movement. It just doesn't do anything. And then we have a window, maybe not now because it's a little hot, but like in the spring and the fall, we have the bedroom door, which is straight across from the hallway. That room is open with that window open, so you get full circulation. It just doesn't matter. Now, I will say this. It might be smoky, but that chicken looks pretty fucking good. You can hate on the smoke all you want, but that's a nice looking chicken. It is. I'm just like taking a step back, and it's not good. I'll say that. Thanks, kitchen. I think it's a nice looking chicken too. So we're gonna let this rest, and it's gonna rest for 10 minutes. While it's resting, we have 10 more minutes left on our dough for that to finish proofing. So we got a few minutes. It took me a second to read the comment, but a friend of mine, he just said bow down to me, but he spelled bow, B-A-O, which, on our blog post, I made a comment about, what did I say? Something about chow and bow. I don't fucking remember. I made some stupid rhyme, and I didn't feel good about it. Also, hook 'em with 100 bits. Thank you very much. That's super appreciated. I don't have White Claw something to cheer, so we're just gonna go with some water. Ooh, I know you're all about health, so you should appreciate this more than the White Claw, if we're being honest. But thank you so much for the bits. We got them tig old biddies. It's something I said before, and I still found it funny. I don't know what Mister said. What happened? Wait, I'm trying to read this comment. Lauren, what did Jay say? I can look. I have no idea who this song is by, if I'm being honest. Cobra. I don't wait. I don't know what that means. You said Cobra 4G. Cobra 4GGs. I don't know what that is. I'm trying to Oh, that's weird. It's showing the text and the emotes. That's weird. We're also gonna have to start making this sauce eventually. So that'll be fun. So once this chicken is kind of rested, we are going to, like I said, dice it super fine. And then we're going to kind of cook it down a little bit more. And we're going to make this filling. And for the record, I have no idea how to fold bao buns. I watched a video and it showed like 10 different ways, and it was too much. It was like overload, information overload, and I think I know one method or like two methods. "2011." Who sang it though? I need to know. And yeah, that's you might want to clear your browsing history. Who sang about Tig Old Biddies? If I'm being totally honest, I don't know if you are quizzing me like, oh, it's your favorite Martian, or if the person who made the song was called your favorite Martian. It is very unclear to me. But I don't know. I am also really bad with pop culture in anything. Unless it's something that I'm really into. Like, I learned a good amount of Game of Thrones stuff because I really liked Game of Thrones. People in their YouTube channels, why can't they just do their channel like I do? Poorly. It just, well, actually, I guess in this case they did, so. I really, I could have sworn it was like a Biggie Smalls song. Like, didn't he say something about that? Am I losing it? Did Biggie Smalls not say at any point "Tig Old Biddies"? I know nothing about music. Like, it is embarrassing how little I know. It's not good. Even bands I like, I don't know their names. I don't know where they started. I don't know anything. Cause like that doesn't interest me. Fair enough. Thank you very much for making me feel better. I want to keep going, but I kind of can't until I can cut up this chicken, and I'm afraid to cut into it too soon. And it's been like 8 minutes. I think that's long enough. I think we can cut into this chicken. Oh, I get that. Having to search for songs, you can't remember the lyrics. That shit hits home with me. It also doesn't help that I don't really listen to the radio. So like if there's a song, it's most of the stuff I listen to is Spotify. So if I like a song, I can just I can just like it, and then it's just now in my liked songs playlist, which makes things very easy for me.
You and me stuck on the ocean now, nothing but waves in this filling in. I wanna dry up, but you just keep on going, don't you? I don't even know how we got here. All my reasoning have disappeared. I wanna bury the hatchet and find the way back.
Okay. Let's start cutting up our chicken. I think it's good enough. We're gonna start with the chicken thigh. I tell you though, it's hot. I'm gonna get a fork to help me with this. And that skin is nice and crispy. It's cooked really well. It looks super pink on screen, but I promise you, it's not. And we're just gonna kind of cut around this bone. I don't care about making clean cuts, because like I said, we're just going to cut this as small as we can get it. I just want to get as much meat off this bone as I can.
Yesterday we could be ourselves, didn't have much but nevertheless we were true to each other, but now we don't even bother. I remember you being hopeful, but the tall waves have worn us down, and slowly we are drowning. That's why you need to come.
I opted to cook this with the skin on because I think that the little bits of skin that you might get as we cut it up will help provide a little bit of a textural component. So you get like these random bits of crunchiness, and you're like, "Ooh, that was tasty." That's kind of my goal. We'll see if it works. We'll see if it pans out. If I was making the sandwich style bao, then you could just cut these into slices and serve it like that. But because we're doing the dumpling filled, which are traditionally using ground meat, I gotta really cut up this chicken really finely. Which I am 100% going to run out of space on this cutting board. That is a nice crispy crust right there. Alternatively, you could shred this if you wanted. I just get so tired of shredding. I don't know about anybody else, but after like 3 minutes of shredding, I am just over it. So that's why I'm opting to cut it up the way I am. I also forgot to put a wet paper towel under this, so there's a good chance that it's going to slide around, which is super safe. I'm gonna just hone up this knife just a little. Feel like it's just a little tiny dull, and I'm not cutting through this with the ease that I should be. People always get the top half of the knife when they hone, and they often don't come far enough down to the belly of the knife to hone, which is the most important part, is where all the cutting power is in this bottom half, because it's the closest to the handle. It's a little better. If you have a cutting board that doesn't have grips on the bottom, you definitely want to put a wet rag or a wet paper towel or something underneath your cutting board to help you keep it from sliding and slipping all over as you work. Oh, the cutting board trick with the washcloth underneath? Yeah, it's a really helpful one. You can really see the difference between the chicken thigh and the chicken breast as far as dark meat and white meat go. Too hot for you? You know what they say, if you can't take the smoke, the house is probably on fire. Lauren and Jerry are gonna sit outside until it stops being so smoky in this kitchen. And I don't blame them.
Jerry. Jerry does not want you to go. Oh, but...
Goodbye, Jerry. Yeah, Jerry doesn't want to go. He doesn't like to go anywhere really, unless he's going in the car. Okay, last bit of chicken to cut up, which makes me very happy. This is taking way too long. But I'm so hungry. My dinner was like a small bowl of cereal right before I came on stream. Because I didn't have time. I made Lauren a salad, a grilled chicken salad, and I didn't have time to eat myself. So I just crammed a quick bowl of cereal right before I went live. I was like typing up my live tweet and stuff and setting up OBS and the lights and everything while I was eating cereal, and that was my dinner. So I'm pretty hungry, and I'm very excited for this bao. Holy shit, this bao got big. Our dough has like tripled in size. Oh, it fucking proofed. I'll show you in a second. I just want to wipe this down super quick so I can put it away. Actually, I still need it. I gotta weigh out the it proofed. That's a big dough. It just needs to be punched down a little. And we watch it deflate. Oh man, this... I guess I didn't grease the sides well enough. It's kind of stuck. Okay, so we're gonna roll this out into kind of like a log. I'm not gonna use any flour just yet. And the reason we're going to roll this out into a log is so that I can cut it into relatively even slices. And those slices are going to become our dough. I'm going to move this. Just so I have a little more space to work. See, I'm working this dough towards the ends so that I can try to get like an even middle. Okay, we're gonna start cutting our dough, and we want each piece to weigh about 50 grams. Somewhere between 48 and 52 is acceptable. I don't know how big that is, so the first one's gonna be just kind of a guess. 72, way too big. So I'll take off half. 54, close enough. You're going for a walk?
Yeah, but we're smoking cigars, so I can't read that from anywhere.
60, a little too much. Okay, baby. $56. What do we got? 48. Okay. Ooh, 35. Not nearly enough. If I have to add a little dough, I can just kind of pinch it and then roll it. I'll knead it into itself a little. And then I'll roll it so that it forms a top ball. See? And now you can't really tell that I added anything to it. $40, okay. 48. Oh, I mean, my mic seems fine on my end. But Bobby, how you doing? Thanks for popping in. That's because Facebook sucks. Yeah, that's a friend of mine. But thank you for letting me know. I appreciate it. How you doing, Bobby? How you holding up? How's work and everything? 46, good enough. 41, we'll have to add a little to that. Man, I'm cutting these just a little shy, aren't I? $57, okay, so that's a little too much now. Just got home from the lake, nice. I wish I had a lake to go to. That would be nice. So we want to roll these into little balls before we do anything to them. Because we're going to roll them out, but we're going to roll them out in a very specific way. And I'll show what it is. You should be putting these on parking. Man, anytime you make something like bao or anything dough related, it's always so time consuming. Like there's so much that goes into it. I'm sure it'll be worth it at the end, it just takes so much time. Okay, if you're not ready for that time commitment, you gotta find something else. Most of the stuff you can probably buy at an Asian food market. Like you can buy chashu or char siu, which is like barbecue pork. You could buy that at an Asian food market pre-made. It'll be like some packaged material. I don't know if it'd be like frozen or whatever. But it exists. It's just for us, we don't have any Asian food markets that are open right now. At least not near us. In Brooklyn and stuff, there's plenty, but not where I am. I'm gonna do 2 more. I think 12 is enough. I don't need to spend all night doing this. Because we got other things we gotta do. It's already 9:30. We still gotta make our chicken, and then fill these, seal them, and then steam them. So we still have a little while to go. So we're only going to do 12. It's about 3/4 of our dough. Maybe a little less. Maybe like 60% of our dough. I could easily make 20 if I wanted. But I don't got that kind of time. And I don't want this to get too boring of watching me pinch off dough and then roll it, for however long. So we are going to move on. So we got our dough. It needs to be rolled out still. So the way we're gonna roll them out, we're gonna do just a tiny bit of flour. Actually, I don't even know if I need flour. What we're gonna do is we're gonna roll, but we're gonna leave a little lump in the middle. So I'm working from the center out. You can see that lump in the middle. There's a reason for this. The reason is because once we start adding the filling, the bottom is going to get heavier than the top that we're going to fold over. So the bottom needs a little bit more dough to help support the weight of the filling. And so we need, it acts like structural integrity for the bao. I think I'm gonna flour this. I think I need to a little bit, just so it doesn't stick when I roll it out. If you're making the sandwich version of bao, you don't need to do this because you're not filling them the same way. But if you're gonna make dumplings, then this is the way to do them. Just that little, doesn't have to be huge, just a nice small little bump, and your dough should be about 4 to 5 inches after you've rolled it out. And I want to try to keep them round. I don't want to make them into like a square or a diamond shape. I want to try to roll all the way around so that they get these nice round dumplings. Because that's going to matter later when we go to seal them up. I'm gonna get my filling ready, and then while it's cooking, I'll come back to rolling these out. All we're doing for the filling is we are adding our chicken back to the pan we cooked it in, and we're just gonna add some sauces and stir it, and I'll talk about those sauces as I add them. So I didn't wash out the pan after I cooked the chicken in it. And the reason for that was because all that leftover chicken is really just going to, like the chicken juice and stuff is going to help cook our onions. It's going to give them a nice chicken flavor, and that's what I want. So that's how we're going to do it. So we're just going to let the pan, we're not going to let it get too hot. Like we don't want it to be like Maillard browning hot, but we need it to be just hot enough to cook the onions. I missed something. I heard a noise. Someone liked the stream on Facebook, most likely. I apologize, I missed who it was, but thank you very much. I appreciate it. Remy, what up, you handsome, handsome man? Have you been practicing your sword fighting by any chance? So we're gonna add in to our onion. Now that the onion's starting to cook, it's kind of picked up some of the color from the chicken immediately as soon as I started mixing it up, which is exactly what we want. I could have sworn I had a rubber. I guess I used my rubber spatula. Okay, so we just added our chicken back to our pan, and you have to make sure you stir thoroughly because you don't want all of the onions or the shallots being pressed down into the pan by the weight of the chicken. It's going to make them burn. So you have to kind of make sure you scoop underneath and toss so that the shallots get mixed in with the chicken and they all cook together. We're going to start adding our seasoning and sauces, and I'm going to read them off one at a time. We're going to do 1.5 teaspoons of 5 spice, which is about 3 grams, and we made our own, so I'm just going to kind of sprinkle on some as I see fit. Alright, Chinese 5 spice in. We need 1 tablespoon of mirin. Now, if you're going to use regular cooking sake or Chinese rice wine, you can use 2 tablespoons. This is all I have, so I'm only using 1. Okay, so that's our mirin. We need 1 tablespoon of soy sauce. Soy sauce is done. We need a teaspoon of sesame oil. Sesame oil is extremely strong. Uh, don't overdo it with the sesame oil. It is extremely strong, and yeah. Also, 1 teaspoon is about. I'm sorry, 3 teaspoons is 1 tablespoon. So just keep that in mind. If you're using a tablespoon for your measurements, a teaspoon is 1/3 of a tablespoon. And I'm going to add in 3 tablespoons of hoisin. If you have bean curds, you can add a tablespoon of bean curds and replace it and do 2 tablespoons of hoisin, but that's depending on what you have. We're also going to do in 3 tablespoons of brown sugar. Okay. Jerry's costume has not come in yet. I don't know what's taking Amazon so long. Yeah, I don't know what Amazon's deal is. Another reason that we don't clean the pan before we add, like after we cook the chicken the first time, is because now once we add all the sauces, it's gonna deglaze the pan, which means it's gonna pull all those brown bits of the chicken off of the bottom of the pan, and it's gonna add so much more flavor to our food. We do this all the time in a lot of dishes, not just Asian food. But anytime you're cooking chicken or steak, it's really common to deglaze the pan and get those brown bits up. It's called the fond, Fond, and it just gives you maximum flavor. Get all those little bitties. You gotta get them bitties. I'm also gonna throw in 2 teaspoons of salt. I have my special fleur de salt here. I'm actually only going to throw in 1 teaspoon of salt because I'm using regular soy sauce. I'm not using the low sodium soy sauce, so. I don't want these to be overly salted. Oh, Kitchen Witch with the 100 biddies. Thank you very much. I guess, you know, you talk about it enough and it'll happen. So our filling is done. Sometimes they call for things like oyster sauce or fish sauce or things like that. I obviously didn't use any of that. Thank you very much, Kitchen. I appreciate that. Okay, so we're done with everything. Our filling is done. It's just, I turned the heat off. It's just sitting. Our buns are done. We just gotta roll them up. Or we gotta roll them out. You gotta handle those buns. You know what I mean? So let's do this. I'm gonna flour this counter a little bit more. I'm kind of going from lightly flouring to generously flouring. Black Rabbit, what up? What is up? How you doing? How is your evening treating you? Or your day? I don't really know what time of day it is for you.
I've been feeling so small. Watch the clock ticking off the wall. But tonight I'm letting it go. Spend my coin for sure. I'm gonna be myself.
What I do know is that it kind of looks like I'm making raviolis over here.
I'm gonna skip my breaks. I'm gonna make mistakes. I just wanna feel alive. It's just what I do when I'm out. So try not to hold me down. Feel alive when I'm in this town. Look at those beautiful stars. I wanna drive a faster car. Nothing can break me. No, nothing can break me. Try not to hold me down. Feel alive when I'm in this town. Look at those beautiful stars. I wanna
I guess the dough is made very different than pasta dough, as I'm sure you know better than I do. So you can see our little dough nipple. You know what I should be doing? Yeah, it's dough with stuff in it. Yes, there's no arguments here. I would be willing to call them ravioli-esque. Black Rabbit, do what you need to do. You know what? I'm gonna start. I have a better idea. Because eventually I'm gonna run out of space. So I'm gonna start filling these as I go. I think that's the smarter idea. If I'm being, because now that I'm like doing it and I'm thinking about it, I'm like, man, I'm not gonna have enough space for all this. So I'll grab one, I'll fill it, and I'll show you guys what it looks like. So this is what they look like, and the way they're going to get folded is we are going to place them down. That's how I'm making them. I'm definitely gonna have to make in batches. So we're doing this kind of box style. If I remember correctly, this was like the crab ragoon style is what like they called it on the video that I watched. So whether or not that's what it actually is, so I'm just cutting parchment paper to fit our dumplings here. I think these can get cut in half again. I think I could probably fit 3 at a time. So it looks like I'm overstuffing them, but everything I was told or everything I've read and watched said that to fill them more than you think you need to. So this is more than I think I need to. Now we have to make sure that all of it is sealed tightly and properly, otherwise they won't cook and rise because they need the steam to do that. I probably rolled these out a little too big. This is probably closer to the proper size. It'll settle in. The filling is, I can see that. Sure. Oh yeah. See, I think this is too much filling. There is certainly an art to folding bao and getting it to, one, be correct, and two, look nice. And my God, I do not have that skill. Okay. So we're gonna let these sit with the lid on for 5 minutes over the stove. And then we're gonna turn the water on medium to start steaming. So the way this is kind of set up is like almost like double boiler. I have my steam basket over my cold water. And yeah. We'll see how many buns I can make depending on how much filling there is. I have way more dough than I have filling. You know, the original recipe called for 3 pounds of meat, and I don't need to cook to that scale. You know, it's just me and Lauren. But I didn't want to half the dough for some reason. So yeah, just keep those kind of considerations in mind when you make this yourself. Is having enough filling for all the buns you make. I'll probably have enough filling for 2 or 3 more, which I think is plenty. If Lauren and I each have one tonight, if I make 6, we each have one tonight, she could still take 2 or 3 for lunch tomorrow and be okay. So right now they're doing a second round of proofing now that they've been filled in the basket before I turn the steam on. I'm just going to get the rest of the dough ready. This one kind of ripped and turned to shit. I'm going to put the dough in the fridge just to kind of see what happens, just for my knowledge. I don't know how well it'll go, but we'll see. And then, yeah, I could always make more filling. I wonder if I could freeze the dough, because I don't know if I want to make filling tomorrow, just because do I want to have all this bao, you know, so close together. I personally like to space things out. Like, I don't like to eat the same thing too many times in a row, because I'm a child. Oh, Lauren, I was just about to text you telling you to come back. They're going to be steamed in just a minute.
Oh God.
You can't say 15 notes? Okay. Say goodnight to Lauren, everyone.
Good night.
Lauren's very tired. I don't blame her. She's had a long day.
Nice. Look good.
Yeah? And tasty, yeah.
How cute you got.
Don't have to yet. It has to sit for 5 minutes, and then I can turn the water on. In fact, I can turn the water on now. Absolutely. Alright. Our first batch of bao will be done in 15 minutes.
First batch?
Yeah.
Well, enjoy, everybody. That's my cue to go.
Okay. Love you too. Have a good night. Okay. Our buns are ready. Now we just have to wait. Now we just gotta wait. Once they're done steaming, we can check them out. This is always the hardest part, like when they're cooking, you know, because like I just want to eat them. Like we're so close to being able to eat them, but they're still so far away. Unfortunately, I'm gonna start. Listen, if you're tired, go. You know, there is zero obligation to stay, as you know. Yeah, I'm so hungry. I'm actually already starting to wash some dishes while they're steaming because might as well kill two birds with one stone, right? So, yeah, you know, our bao is steaming. They still got another 12 minutes. We'll see how it goes. I'm very, very excited for these. We've been working on them. I know this says we've only been live for an hour and 45 minutes. That's because we had to stop the stream and restart it because of connection issues. We've really been streaming for 3 hours. So, you know, I'm always excited for the payoff. You know, for that last 5 minutes is always the most exciting 5 minutes. Oh, we're just about halfway to our hit goal of getting Jerry a new costume. I don't know why Amazon hasn't delivered his newest costume yet. But I already know what the next costume for our dog Jerry will be. Once we hit our bit goal, I will buy it that day. I actually hear him chewing one of his squeak toys, which I'm sure Lauren does not appreciate right now. He's a weird dog, Jerry. He's not a big player, you know, like he doesn't like to play with us. If we give him like a toy and we try to like play fetch and stuff, he runs into another room with it. If we try to play tug of war, he gets a little upset, like he gets a little angry. He just likes having his toys. He doesn't like us playing with them. So, like, he'll chew on his toys and he'll rough them up a little. But we're not allowed to participate in that with him. It is a Jerry only toy. Which, you know, I've grown up with big dogs, or having big dogs like my whole life. So to go and then have a little dog is different. It's not bad. I don't dislike Jerry. I love him more than anything. It's just it's different. I'm used to having a dog that I can like rough around with and be a little aggressive and fuck with them. Really, your cat is the kind of cat that I want. I want to play with Jerry. I want to sit and like I said, I'm used to having big dogs and like wrestling with them and tug of war and chasing them around the house and all this kind of stuff. And Jerry just isn't interested in doing that really. He is very much a lap dog, which Lauren loves. She loves having that, like just sitting on the couch. You know, he sits on top of her and he just sits there quietly while she reads, or you know, she's watching TV or on doing something on her phone or doing school, whatever we're doing, schoolwork. She loves it. Halfway to our first set of Bao. I'm sure if you're just joining us, having me or watching me wash dishes isn't exactly what you had hoped for when you came into this supposed cooking stream, but we kind of finished most of the cooking, and now we're just waiting for the finished product. So I hope you can, you know, bear with us and stick around for it. I'm very excited to dig into one. And who knows, there's a good chance that I mess them up and that they don't taste good at all. The filling tastes good. I mean, I know how to make meat and fillings and stuff like that. The question is, did I make the dough properly? And if you are new here, one of the things you don't know about me is that I am not good with dough. Like, I actually struggle making doughs, unless it's like brownie batter, cookie dough, something like that. That I'm very good at. But bread doughs, I tried making my own pasta. I tried making donuts and all this kind of stuff. I think dough is hard, especially for me. I'm not good at it. So I think it's good to do things that I'm not good at. So you guys at home, if you're watching, you'll be like, oh man, I've seen some of this guy's food, or I watch his other cooking streamer, and everything looks so good, and everything's so perfect, and I don't want that, because I feel like that may discourage people from going out there and trying. Maybe not the first time. Like, you watch something and you're like, oh, I'm gonna go home and make that, or I'm gonna go and make that. We're all kind of home at the moment. So you try to make it, but if it doesn't come out the way that you saw it, it can be discouraging. You're like, what did I do wrong? Why did it get messed up? This and that. But if you see another streamer like myself cooking things and making mistakes and messing up and trying to troubleshoot what I did wrong and how I think it could be fixed. Well, then if it happens to you, you might be more likely to try again because you said, "Oh, I saw this person make this mistake. I'm not gonna do that. They said do this instead." And then you learn. It's a learning experience. We're all learning together. Just on Saturday, I tried making some Japanese souffle pancakes, and I messed up. I messed them up, and they didn't taste very good, so I tried to remake them using what information I think went wrong. They came out better. The taste was there, they didn't have the height. Man, washing dough is so annoying. Yeah, I always learn something. That's why I think that's why people are so interested in kitchen streams or cooking streams at all. What's that? Is there pancetta in that? No, what? Lauren's back because she said it smells really good and she can't go to sleep because of how good it smells. You got a few minutes. Okay, well, you can brush them again. I gotta brush them too, so I'll brush your teeth for you. I honest to God thought she was gonna come in here and yell at me for talking too loud, but like I am trying to talk as low as I can. I feel bad because she's up early and she's dealing with, screaming, crying children. It's hot outside. Like it's not easy. Her job is by no means easy, and I do not envy her. I absolutely don't want that job. So like I feel bad that she's tired, but now hard to go to sleep if it smells too good. I don't know how she does it. I don't know how she works with those little bastards. Children are so difficult, especially 4-year-olds. They're, the ones she has, they're pooping their pants. Who's crying? Somebody bit somebody today. Like it's fucking wild. Like, can you imagine if you had to go to work and people are like, "Oh, stay away from Daryl. He bites people." You're like, I don't want to fucking work here with Daryl. Retail's just as bad. I work in retail. I worked in retail pharmacy. So not only was it retail, but the people were sick, or they were confused, or their doctor didn't send in something, or sent the wrong thing. You know how many times we would get prescriptions for something that has a dose that doesn't exist? Like the medication will come 5, 10, 25, 50 milligrams, and the doctor will send them, a prescription for 30 milligrams. And it's like, I can't. The person will come in to fix it and be like, we were trying to get in touch with the doctor, but they're not answering. Why do you need to get in touch with the doctor? Well, they try to give you medication that doesn't exist. Trying to explain to older individuals about how medicine works now, and like, it's just a lot. Okay. I think it's time. So you might be wondering why I have these other, I have this other dough ready to go. You might be wondering, well, why did I not fill them and seal them? It's because I don't want the heat from the filling to start cooking the dough before they get steamed and rise. I'm going to get Lauren. I'm going to see if she's willing to come in and try one. So bear with me 1 second. Lauren, do you want to try one? They're ready. I don't know if she heard me. But we'll see. In the meantime, I'm gonna start filling these, and I got my papers ready to go. So we have our small cut paper for when after we fill these. I guess she's not coming. So it's one down. 2. I think these are a good level of like tacky and sticky, because they're sealing easily, but they're not sticking too much to my fingers, so that's good. And I know Bao is actually no, the first batch is still in the steamer. After they cook, they're supposed to rest in the steamer for a few extra minutes. So I haven't taken them out yet. I'm just prepping the second batch. Okay. I'm going to wipe this down. Okay. Here come the first batch. Let's see how they are. Oh my god. They look hideous. They're also extremely hot. Okay, we're going to try the second batch on a little bit lower of a heat. I'm also going to cook them for less time. I'm only going to cook them for 5 minutes. So this is the first batch. They look terrifying. So yeah. I guess let's try one. I guess. I'm a little nervous. This one looks the best out of all of them. So here's the first one. I'm so nervous. It doesn't look good. It smells fine. but they taste pretty good. It tastes pretty good. I think they taste pretty good. I don't know if I didn't roll these out enough. If I rolled them out, if I made them too big and I rolled them out too much, so they like really plumped up during the steaming process. Best food channel ever. What's up? Do you have anything to dip it in? I could probably dip this in soy sauce or something like that. I'm not gonna. Alright, fine, I will. Okay, you're twisting my leg. I'll twist it in soy sauce. What? Dip these in a little soy sauce. See how they are. I would actually be very comfortable giving this to Lauren for lunch. What's up, Black Rabbit? So this is the filling. You can see it's pretty pillowy. It's like nice and soft. You know, I could squeeze them. They come right back. I think that it's just, I don't know if I rolled them out too thin, and as a result they puffed up a lot. I don't know if I made them too big, like if they weigh too much, if they should have been maybe instead of 50 grams, 45 grams or 43 grams or something like that. I don't know. I also mainly taste the star anise. It's like the most predominant and strongest flavor in this is the star anise. So if you're not a fan of licorice or anise, definitely either don't use Chinese 5-spice because that's one of the stronger flavors in it, or make your own and use very little star anise. And you can make your own very easily. It's cinnamon, whole cloves, star anise, allspice, and Szechuan peppercorn. Those are the 5 spices in Chinese 5-spice. Just got hit with a little allspice. But when I honestly, if you're gonna make your own seasoning, don't follow a recipe. Look at a recipe to kind of get an idea of the ratios and everything, but you know, smell what you're putting in. Obviously, don't taste raw season. Don't just like eat raw anasazi, like that's gross. But smell it and you're like, huh, I don't know if I really like the taste of this or the smell of it. Then put less of it. Like it's your seasoning, it's your recipe. You do whatever you want. And that's what I did. This is not the exact recipes that I found. I took it, looked at it, and said, I don't know, I don't want this, I want to add this, and that's what I did. And I still cited the original source of where I found the recipes because that's the right thing to do. But I still take, you know, free liberty in changing it how I see fit. And if it doesn't work, well then, you know, I tried. So, nothing wrong with changing a recipe a little bit to suit your palate and your likes or allergies or whatever absolutely nothing wrong with it. In fact, I can't imagine. Listen, I'm not a chef, but I can't imagine a chef or a cook that would tell you, no, you must follow. Like, no, they're gonna tell you season. Why do you think every recipe says season to taste? Because what you find salty might be not salty enough for me, and what Lauren finds to be not salty enough might be way too salty for you. I love a lot of pepper. I like a little bit of spice. Lauren doesn't, so we have to season differently. Yeah, it's a way to show your own creativity, as Kitchen Witch said, and it's very, very accurate. And it doesn't even have to be. I'm not a particularly creative individual. Like my typical dinners are grilled chicken and lasagnas and meatballs and like shit like that. It's not creative, but I'll make it my way. I don't know. That's just what I think. But what do I know? I'm just a guy on the internet. Kitchen Witch, thank you so much for hanging in there. I so appreciate it. I hope the payoff for the bao bun was worth it. And look at this one. This one's all deformed. And it's actually even not as hard. I mean, it's still a little soft. I think it's just I think there's too much filling. But thank you so much. I appreciate it. Enjoy the rest of your night. Have a great day at work. And if you're not following Kitchen Witch, then you need to be, because she is a much better streamer than I am. And if you want to see some good recipes and good fun, all that kind of stuff, then follow Kitchen Witch. Like I said, she's a far better streamer than I am. So I highly recommend her. Anytime, mister. It's what I do. We're gonna wrap up in a few minutes. Hey, Little M, what's up? Speaking of great streamers, Little M makes the dopest fucking cookies that you can possibly see. You are catching the tail end of it. So, we are basically, I have my last set of bao buns in the, oh, Black Rabbit, don't worry about not being able to talk and stuff. You just hanging out, even if it's just watching, lurking, that's plenty enough for me. You don't have to worry about chatting. But I hope you enjoyed the stream. Have a great night, and we'll see you soon. Yeah, we made dumpling style bao buns. They're a little, my folding technique isn't, leaves a little bit to be desired, but we'll see how the second set came out. We'll see how the second set came out in just a few seconds. I'm going to take these off the heat, and I'm just going to let them sit on a paper towel. And we'll let them rest for a minute before I take off the cover. Well, how was your stream? I know you were streaming before. I'm sorry I didn't get to hop in. Lauren said that there was someone was looking for gift advice for their significant other. That must have been a fun conversation. I enjoy relationship talk and stuff like that. Also, I apologize for not being at my normal volume. Lauren recently went to bed, and I'm trying not to talk too loud because I don't want to disturb her. At least not too much. So, we're letting these sit. Yeah, I mean, people have wild relationships, What's normal to you or me, uh, maybe weird to other people. What we find weird, maybe somebody else's norm. There's so much shit that goes involved in relationships and ooh, wedding cookies. I'm gonna need those pretty soon myself. You didn't have any trolls today, that's good. We had someone pop in for a second. They said one silly thing, and then I haven't heard from them since. So, I also didn't give them a reaction. I just kind of ignored it, and I think they got bored and left. And if they didn't get bored and still hung around, then thanks for watching. Oh, man. Okay. We do have a date set. We've had it set for over a year. I proposed September 22nd, 2018. So it's about a 2-year engagement period. Pretty long. Ooh, internet's finally getting it together. Good. Your internet is behaving just in time for me to reveal the second batch. And I have no idea how they're gonna look. So, we're gonna see this together. 3, 2, I'm not gonna do a countdown. Boom. Done. Look at those. I think they look pretty good. I think those look pretty good. Now, has there been any talk on your end of, when is Ben maybe gonna ask you a question? The dipping sauce is literally just a soy sauce, nothing. It's just plain soy sauce, nothing special. That's personal. Fair enough. You don't have to answer that. That's none of my business. I ask, you say no. That's how it works. Listen, at any point, you can easily be like, Nick, fuck off. That's none of your business. And I will agree. You're right. I have no authority to ask that. A mix of ketchup, sriracha, soy sauce, and barbecue. Interesting. Interesting. I am going to make that sauce, but I'm going to do it on a burger. Or maybe, yeah, I think a burger would be great for it. And then we'll hit it with some other seasonings. You know, we'll throw a little smoked paprika in there. We'll throw a little bit of crushed, a little bit of garlic powder. We'll throw a little bit of. I'll do it up. I'm gonna make that sauce for a burger. I think the soy sauce will add a nice level of saltiness. Oh man. I'm gonna take a picture of this, and then I think we're gonna wrap this up. So we're gonna be ending soon, not just yet. We'll talk for a minute or two while I take some photos of what we made here, and let's do it like that. They taste very good. I tasted one before. This is what they look like. I think they look pretty good. I tasted one before, like I said, and I think if you're not a fan of star anise or like a licorice type of flavor, you might want to change the seasoning up a little bit. If you like star anise, well then, yeah, this is great. But I actually made my own Chinese 5-spice. So, mostly because I couldn't find it, but it's super easy to make. There's 5 ingredients. It's cinnamon, allspice, star anise, what the hell is it? Cinnamon, star anise, allspice, Szechuan pepper, and whole cloves. And you can get ground. You can get everything ground and just mix it. That's what I did. I had star anise seeds, and I just used a mortar and pestle to break up the star anise seeds, and then added ground cinnamon, some ground Szechuan pepper, all that kind of stuff. I didn't have whole cloves, so I just added a little bit of black pepper and just a tiny bit of salt, just to kind of round it out a little. I mean, you could, realistically, it's your salt, like it's your seasoning. You make it as many spices as you want, as long as you like the taste of it. I would, yeah, jeez, that's a lot of seasoning, 21 spice mix, holy shit. What I would do is, before you make something that's as labor intensive as these bad boys, what I would recommend doing is making just a plain piece of grilled chicken, like a nice chicken breast, using that seasoning, and this way, at least you get an idea of, do you like it? You can make the filling, make the grilled chicken or the ground pork. Traditionally, these are made with pork. I used chicken instead. But make cook the chicken. Add your seasoning. Add your mirin or your sake. Add your soy sauce, your oyster sauce, your sesame oil, your hoisin sauce, your bean curd, like all the things that you need to make this filling. Make it, but don't make the dough, because the dough takes forever. But at least you could taste the filling and say, okay, is this something that I would want to add to a dough, to a bun? And if it's not, then you know not to spend all that time with the dough. Let me get my camera super quick so I can take a photo of this, and then I can go to bed, because I've been streaming for almost 4 hours, which I know doesn't sound like a lot to some people, but when you're cooking all this stuff, it is. I've been up, I mean, it is, let's see, it's 10:50 p.m. for me right now. I have been up working since 6:30 a.m. So, that's like a 16 and a half hour day or something like that. Yeah, it's a very long day. So we'll take a couple of quick pictures and we'll be out of here. I think I need to add a little more soy sauce in there though, because it looks silly. It looks a little empty. There we go. You can kind of like see the bottom of it. And if you want to see what these pictures look like, I will be posting them on our Twitter, probably our Instagram story, and our Discord. So if you're interested, we have a shit ton of social media pages, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. We have a Patreon. We do a podcast. All that stuff. It's there. You can read it. You don't need me to tell you. Oh man. Not a paid ad. Thank you very much, Em. I appreciate that. But if you give us any more advertising, I probably will have to start paying you. I take a bunch of photos, just because I don't know which one I'm gonna like the most, so I just take a shit ton, and then whatever looks good. See, like that side doesn't work because it blocks the light in. All right, I think that's it. I think we're gonna end it there. If you're just joining us, these are the last batch of the bao buns that we made. A little hard to see, but there they are. I folded them crab ragoon style. I did not fold them traditional bao style, mostly because I've never done it before, and I mean, these already look like shit, and I don't need them looking any worse because I did, really bad job folding. But thank you so much to everybody that stopped in, even if it's just for a minute. I really appreciate you, just clicking our name and checking us out and see what we're all about. You guys are the absolute best. As I mentioned before, definitely check out Little M's Cookies. She does some amazing cookie decoration, and I will most likely be sending her a DM probably in the next couple of days, asking her about how to get cookies done for my wedding, because they look they look super good and I want to buy them. And that's not a joke. I really am going to message her. But yeah, that's basically it. We stream again on Thursday at 7 p.m. Eastern. This Saturday, normally we stream Saturdays at noon Eastern. However, we are moving. So we're moving actually on Saturday. So as a result, our Saturday stream will be canceled. I apologize. I will try to think of something extra nice to make on our next stream to make up for the fact that we had to skip a stream. But until then, I will see you guys on Thursday. Thank you so much. You all fucking rock. And enjoy the rest of your night.